Yo, what up, YouTube? Alone So Q here. I've been gone for a few weeks. Last video I made was right after the election. Cheers to Trump and everybody who got Trump elected. Anyway, I hadn't made a video in a while. I'm trying to figure out what direction I want to take this channel in, and then there's just so much going on in the news. There wasn't much going on, but just as far as the noise, the din of people, just everybody trying to get their opinion out there, freaking out about Donald Trump and the 2 week long shit fit that crybabies threw in the streets. Anyway, I wanted to come back and I already started off doing it, but I'm gonna try to be not so combative against regressives and people on the left, because there's a lot of people doing that on YouTube. It's not necessarily what I'm trying to do with this channel. I'm trying to more talk about my ideas and hopefully find people that resonate with me. And so part of my ideas is people on the left are terrible, and it's just so obvious. So let me just jump into that. Let me just talk about the icing on the cake for me this election was the death of Fidel Castro, because it was just such perfect timing. He died that week of Thanksgiving, the day after, on Black Friday, and the response from people on the left I thought was just so telling of the fact that they don't have principles and they don't believe in anything. Well, they do believe in something. They believe in fucking communism, or just they believe in taking other people's shit and being authoritarians and telling people how to live. So you just get a sense that this is what these people believe. It's what they live and fight for, and they don't care about any sort of principles of human rights. They simply care about their ideology and forcing it on other people. And you could just see this by the response to the death of Fidel Castro versus the entire year before, where people for an entire year were slandering Donald Trump, calling him Hitler, calling him a tyrant, saying he's gonna fucking do this, he's gonna do that. You have people out there comparing illegal immigrants to Jews in Nazi Germany. People saying this is like the Germany in the 30s. People saying, I don't know where this one came from, but I swear to God, I heard this online, and people were joking about it, and because some people were serious, but some people were saying Donald Trump's going to be putting gay people in internment camps, and I don't know where this like LGBT needs to be afraid of Donald Trump, where that whole meme came from. I don't know. He's out there waving rainbow flags. He said that he's not going to try to challenge a Supreme Court ruling on gay marriage and stuff. So where that whole rumor came from is beyond me. But people are still perpetuating this idea that LGBT have to fucking be on the lookout, and everybody who supports Trump and Trump himself are all racist, xenophobic, homophobic, transphobic. And that's the thing with these people, is like their little fucking verbal diarrhea. Once it starts, it can't stop. Once you're a racist, you're also a sexist, you're also homophobe, you're also transphobe, you're everything that every slanderous name they could call you, you're automatically that if you're one of the things. So it gives them cognitive dissonance if they have to call somebody a racist, but he's not a homophobe. And look, I don't think Donald Trump's a racist either, so just cut that shit. But anyway, the point is, for an entire year, people are slandering Donald Trump, saying he's going to throw gay people in camps, he's going to do this, he's going to do that. And then you have Fidel Castro die. And what do? They celebrate him. They make excuses for him. One of the worst tyrants in history. And the only reason he's not looked at as a more disgusting tyrant is because he only took over a small island. So numbers-wise, it doesn't look that bad compared to a Mao or a Stalin. But in reality, when you deal with per capita, he's right on par with these guys. He's a murderous dictator. And here's the funny thing. Well, it's not even funny. It's disgusting and horrible. Fidel Castro threw gay people in fucking internment camps, man. How hard is it to find people who did that? That's such an insane, horrendous, disgusting, tyrannical thing to do. How many people in history have done that? And so after they throw out these baseless accusations that Donald Trump is going to put gay people in camps, what do? They go make excuses for one of the only people in fucking history who actually did the thing they're accusing Donald Trump of potentially doing in the future. So they spend a year complaining about Trump's potential tyranny, and then cover up the crimes of an actual tyrant who threw people in internment camps, who gave people 20, 30-year sentences for being dissidents, who rammed boats of people trying to flee. You know, like 20% of Cuba fled, millions of people, that tyrannical regime. And then people come back and make excuses saying, well, they got 100% literacy. So what, man? They don't have a free press. They can't write their own shit, man. They can't speak their minds. They can't write dissident material. They can't read dissident material. They can't celebrate liberty because they don't got liberty. So it doesn't matter if they've got 100% literacy. If everybody can read the government propaganda, so what? So what? And then they talk about their medical. Everybody has access to medical care, but it's some third-rate medical care where people got to bring their own bed sheets and bring their own light bulbs and stuff to the hospital because it's so fucking dirt poor. They got to ration their food. There's no freedom there. Castro he enslaved a whole fucking country and kept people stuck at their level of fucking way of life they had fucking 50 years ago. So they're stuck with a low standard of living based off of this guy, but because it's a communist fucking utopia, and that is as utopic as a communist society gets. Don't fool yourself. Cuba's as good as it gets for fucking communism, and that's a failure if there ever was a failure. So it's just crazy though, because Fidel's a leftist, because he's anti-American, leftists get behind him. And this anti-American shit, I'm probably going to do a whole separate video on that and how it particularly infects Latinos. And you get Latinos out there making excuses for fucking Fidel Castro. They're going, well, he stood up to the American imperialists. Yeah, and he wanted fucking the Soviets to nuke your ass, idiot. What the fuck? We're Americans. And we're going to make excuses for somebody who wanted to nuke fucking Americans? Oh, but we probably deserved it because we're propping up the Yankee dictatorship. Whatever the fuck insane justification you make, it's wrong. Fidel Castro is a terrible person. Anybody who fucking... Jill Stein out there saying that he was a fucking symbol for the struggle for justice. Fuck you. That's disgusting. So, Jill Stein, I had a little bit of respect for her. Nope. Down the fucking drain. Fucking shameless. And that's the problem with these people. They have no shame. And they don't even see the irony of calling Trump a tyrant for fucking this whole year and then turning around and celebrating a tyrant. So anyway, it's just a quick point that people who criticize Donald Trump and then prop up Fidel Castro or Che Guevara, these motherfuckers, their opinion isn't worth nothing. Just throw it out the window. Don't even listen to these fools because you're just dumb. You're a fucking hypocrite and you're disgusting because you're making excuses for tyranny. Jill Stein out there in the middle of a recount saying that we need integrity in our elections. And meanwhile, she's fucking giving praise to a one-party rule dictator. And then people have the nerve to get out there and talk about, oh, he's the longest serving president. As if that fucking is an accomplishment for a dictator. He managed to rule oppressively for decades. And they make it sound like that makes him better than the American presidents who pass down power to a different party peacefully. It's ridiculous. So all this crap, it just served to highlight that the left has no principles. It's the entire left mentality is all about the ends justify their means. That's why they're all about redistribution of wealth. The ends justify the means. The government gun pointed at the rich fool to take his money and dish it out. Ends justify the means. If you gotta go murder a few thousand capitalists ends justify the means. If you got to steal land, ends justify the means. No matter what it is, ends justify the means. That is the leftist philosophy, and that's why you got to really watch out for these fools, because they're dangerous. And anybody who backed or who talked up Fidel Castro after criticizing Trump, look, if you want to have a nuanced view of Fidel Castro, have that fucking conversation. Nobody's fucking in and out pure evil. Obviously, all these dictators had fucking good intentions, and some people supported them. But you can't get out there and say, oh, people are sad that he died, so obviously he's a good fucking guy. No, look, and you know what? Anybody who fucking makes excuses, I am the kind of person who would have gotten thrown in a fucking labor camp, who would have gotten tied to a pole and fucking shot, who would have been fucking given a 20-30 year prison sentence, who would have been rammed as he tried to flee to a more free country. I am the face, this kind of person. My mentality is the kind of person who gets fucking shot down by tyrants like Fidel Castro. So when you think about, oh, but at least he got fucking good, they have a low infant mortality rate and a high literacy rate. Yeah, but they murdered people like me. So keep that in fucking mind, because it's disgusting the way you people make excuses for tyranny. And that's why we're at where we're at. And that's why you people can't be taken serious. So don't take nobody on the left serious, especially if they're making excuses for Castro. If they're being fair about it and they've been balanced about Donald Trump the whole time, and then they're trying to be balanced about Castro, okay, I'll give you benefit of the doubt. But anybody who's out there calling Trump Hitler and then making excuses for fucking an actual mini Hitler, fuck you. Just straight up. Tell me what you think. Do you like Castro? I hope not. But hey, it's up for discussion. Apparently, some people don't know communism sucks. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, subscribe. Peace and love, gente. Keep a lookout for the next one.